Hold on, let me read the script. Post set a few things. All right guys, so we're going over some seated cable rows. All right, so preset, there's a few things to think about. With the seated cable row, there's kind of two ways that you can do this movement. So you can either emphasize your lats, or you can emphasize your mid-back trap rhomboid area, depending on where you pull the cable. So if you're pulling the cable higher, and getting those elbows far behind you, you're gonna feel it more in your traps and your mid-back. For us, we wanna be pulling it more towards our belly button, towards your hip crease. So I have the seat raised up a little bit, and that's gonna line everything up so that I'm pulling it right towards my belly button, literally like scraping it across my quads, actually. That's gonna allow us to really emphasize the lats. Also have the rope handles on here instead of the fixed handles. And what that allows you to do is you can kind of change the width, in addition to you get a little bit of natural rotation in your wrist when you're doing this anyway. So it's just really, really comfortable. So highly recommend throwing these on there. All right, so intraset. The main thing, as I say every single time, is stabilizing yourself. So especially with this cable row. So you want to be perpendicular. You want your back to be perpendicular to the ground. And you shouldn't be moving like this at all. I see way too many people in here just like, woo! They're over here doing a lower back movement over here. And that's a super easy way to hurt yourself. I actually hurt myself a long time ago doing this exact movement. But so perpendicular, core locked in is number one. Number two, when we grab the actual handles here, the first thing that should move is gonna be your shoulder joint. Is literally just pulling your shoulder joint back. That should be the first thing that moves. And as that's happening, you wanna focus on driving your elbow straight down. So getting that upper arm basically right next to your side. And one of the other things that I see a lot of it is people's shoulders will be up here when they're doing this, and they're doing they're doing this, and they're rowing it, and their shoulders are way up here like this. Hold on, my cameraman's laughing. So what you want to do is when you're sitting here, you actually want to flex your lats before you even start the movement to hold your shoulders down. So your shoulders your shoulders should just be moving laterally. It should not be moving up and down. So literally just like this, shouldn't be shrugging at all. So that first movement, back. Next movement, focus on driving your humerus, your upper arm, straight down. And then the last key, which I picked up from Joe Bennett and completely changed this movement for me, is slightly pulling those elbows in towards your sides as soon as you get it back here. Like you're pulling your elbows down towards the base of your spine. And it's such a unique feeling. It lights up like the middle of your back, like where your lat inserts right next to your spine. And it's just such a great, like, unique feeling that I have not felt with any other back exercise. So, all right, so post set, a few things to think about if you're not feeling it in your lats. Number one, try doing a chest supported row first, rather than doing a seated cable row. Because with the chest supported row, it takes the stabilization factor out of it. You can really drive that chest into the pad and focus on getting a good contraction in your lats. Two, you can do some activation movements. So I like to do straight arm pull downs and Joe rows. Those are my current favorites right now. So I'll do those activation movements to kind of get a good mind muscle connection going, and then I'll come over here and do the seated cable row. Number 3, slow down. Just plain and simple, slow down, especially on the eccentric portion. You really got to maintain that tension in the lat as you're letting it back, and really keeping that shoulder girdle down. So those are some tips if you're having some trouble. That is the seated cable row. Leave a comment below for what exercise you want to see next. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next week. Peace.